Plus, Erin is unfortunately not alone in the tropical Atlantic. We're watching another healthy tropical wave in the main development region with increasing chances of development from the National Hurricane Center. We may have another tropical system, a named storm, potentially before the end of this work week. We'll show you the latest trends right now on Fox Weather Now. Hey, good Monday afternoon, everybody. Thank you, as always, for being here with us on Fox Weather. Right now, it's 5 o'clock on the East Coast, 2 p.m. out west. I'm Ian Oliver, and this is Fox Weather Now. That's the latest advisory on Hurricane Erin. Winds still at 140 miles per hour. Its motion has turned subtly off to the north. Minimum central pressure, that's unchanged. But the big change here, so we got some new alerts issued. So we do want to get right to Fox Weather hurricane specialist Bryan Norcross. Bryan, you had hinted at this being possible if it was going to happen. It was probably this advisory. With the storm surge watch, though, 2 to 4 feet of surge possible on the Outer Banks. There are a lot of spots there that don't have 2 to 4 feet to give.
No, there's a lot of concern for the Outer Banks. That's why they issued an evacuation order for Hatteras Island. And there's concern up and down the Outer Banks. Obviously, it's a very, very vulnerable place. And the problem here is that the energy, this surge of energy, these swells producing giant waves, eroding waves, are going to be going on multiple high tide cycles. So that pushes water in, and then the water can't get out, and more water comes in because there's this constant onshore push of energy because the storm is going to be moving slowly, so the timing is unfortunate for the Outer Banks. All right, we'll get to that in just 1 second. Let's take a look at what's going on with the storm right now. Now, they're still holding it at 140 miles per hour, even though it has kind of a disheveled look about it. There are upper-level winds pushing in here. We can see signs of that pushing dry air down into the storm. The storm is strong enough to push back and maintain a good circulation, a healthy circulation. Shouldn't say good, not good for the storm maybe, but you can definitely see impacts here. The models indicate that this will probably let up. We can look at these arcs out here. See that arc right there and this one right here? That's a sign that there's dry air in this part of the storm right here that's getting pushed in right now. So probably the intensity is going to come down some. At the very least, it looks like Erin has peaked in intensity. Here, when we look at the very close up here before the sun goes down over it, we can make out this eye wall structure in here. Looks like it's not complete. Hurricane hunters are out there, but they're measuring the atmosphere around it, so we don't have a good measurement in the eye right now. Looking at we add the colors here so we can kind of see where the strongest thunderstorms are, and we can see these bands here. So they're still affecting the Turks and Caicos, and as the storm moves away to the northwest, you can see it'll get farther away here from the Bahamas and the Bahamian chain, which the southern end includes the Turks and Caicos. So they have the tropical storm warning in effect for the Turks and Caicos and the southeastern Bahamas, and just a watch for the possibility of 40-mile-per-hour winds or higher in the central Bahamas. Remember, this thing is kind of moving away, so feeling good about it. When you look at this in motion here, this is the Hurricane Center forecast. The yellows are the 40-mile-per-hour plus sustained winds inside that yellow. So you see the central Bahamas just on the very border of that. Here's the forecast, slowly diminishing winds, but slowly and growing in size as we go through time here. So this is tomorrow, and notice how slowly it's moving. Well, here's the thing. Imagine what the direction of the wind is. Over here on this side on the circulation, it's pushing water now all the way from the location down there outside the Bahamas all the way to the east coast of the U.S. So this whole process of putting energy in the water is going to start already tonight, actually, and certainly into tomorrow, because there's the storm there, and then here's the push of water coming around like this. You see where that's going. That's going toward the southeast, towards Cape Hatteras. And even up here, so now we get 115-mile-an-hour storm plus or minus in there. Well, it's pushing water into that same general area. So we have this whole period beginning tonight, really, and then tomorrow Wednesday, and then on Thursday, finally the push of water is letting up down here, and then it's picking up to the north. All right, even though the storm is diminishing in intensity some, still it's growing in size, and that's making the big push of water toward the coast. All right, let's look at all of that. Here we go. This is tomorrow now, where we start. And remember, this is the 40-mile-an-hour plus winds. Watch as we go forward in time here Wednesday, and then we get to Thursday, and notice we have that fringing here of the tropical storm force winds, but we've had that extended period of pushing water. So that's where we have the watches in effect. And how confident are we about this? Well, we're very confident because all of the models, the AI models, the Google AI model and the European one, they're the blue and the green, they agree. The European and the GFS, everything agrees and stays within the cone, that the core is going to stay well offshore, and it's this fringe effect that we're concerned about. All right, tropical storm watch in effect. You see from Duck on the northern side of Cape Hatteras down to Beaufort down here. Beaufort Inlet is just below Cape Lookout there. And then in that area up to 4 feet of storm surge with giant waves on top of that. That's why there's so much concern for that barrier island there. And farther south, down to south of Myrtle Beach and up to include the Tidewater of Virginia, up to 3 feet of storm surge. So this whole area here is subject to significant storm surge, and we'll have the details of that. Ian will have all the details here coming up. All right, so now we'll talk about the energy in the water, because this is what's going to produce the strong waves and the dangerous currents along the coast. Look at the waves out here, out in the open ocean, up in the 30 to 30 foot range, 30, 35 feet. Well, this system out here and all this wind is pushing energy toward the coast, as I was talking about. All right, we can watch it come north, the core of the energy, but it's radiating from there toward the coast. So here we are Wednesday morning, and Cape Hatteras is getting the energy, as is the southeast coast, all the way down into Florida, actually, from about Palm Beach County north. Significant rip current threat because of that energy coming in. All right, now, as we move forward in time, Thursday morning, look at this. This is the peak time here, peak danger time for Cape Hatteras. That's when the biggest energy, the swells, are coming ashore. And we're starting to move north here now, putting swells into the Delmarva and the Jersey Shore. And then Thursday looks like the peak day north of Cape Hatteras, but that energy continues into the southeast. So this is an all East Coast thing from Palm Beach County, Florida, north. Now, extreme South Florida right here, we're blocked by the Bahamas, so we'll get a little bit, but it's mostly Palm Beach County north all the way to Canada is going to feel this. So this is a massive, massive energy machine in the ocean. Everybody's staying close touch with their local authorities on anything that might flood, because the analysis of this is going to be very precise by the National Weather Service. It's going to start moving out on Friday, but it's going to take until the weekend till we start not feeling the strong energy in the ocean all the way up and down the East Coast. All right, quick mention of what's going on. Also, there's that storm surge watch in effect for the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Ian will have more on that in a moment. I wanted to mention this system down here we've been talking about, 60% chance of it being a depression in this area. Well, that's right there on top of those islands that just got missed by Erin. So we'll see. Now, there's a lot of dry air down here. It's going to fight against that, so we'll see. But what's going to do with the steering? Well, here's the deal. Here's where Erin is steering. This low here is breaking the high. See the high there? That's one high, and there's another high over here. And it's put a break in there, this low. All right, now watch what's going to happen with time. And here comes our next system moving along. And there you see when we get to Saturday, there it is, there Erin is, and guess what's coming along? Another low here to make another dent in the high, we think. That's what the consensus of the models is, that this is going to turn north. Does it turn north, far out to sea? Does it come close? How about the islands? All that remains to be seen this week, because we're talking about Saturday, and already the disturbance is in the vicinity of those northeastern Caribbean islands. So, Ian, a lot going on. Let's just hope this next one fades out. But this is going to be a big week. I don't think folks appreciate the power of the water when you get a giant storm out there. We have these extreme examples. Katrina was one that weakened to a Category 3, but it was a giant storm, created that tremendous storm surge. Sandy, well, this isn't going to be Sandy size, and Sandy came into New Jersey, but it was the giant size of it that produced the storm surge that caused all those problems. So size is what counts in this case, much more than the intensity of the storm, and I hope we get that message out.
Yeah, Irma, one of those too, just a giant as it went through a bunch of eyewall replacement cycles. Yeah, charging across. Quickly, Bryan, before we let you go, it was an interesting conversation we had last week when this was still just an invest about how far north it came off with devastating impacts there in Cabo Verde. This next disturbance, as you were showing us, this is several hundred miles, at least a couple hundred miles south of that. And the water is a lot warmer. Right. You had talked about the dry air. Does it feel like this next disturbance could have an easier runway than Erin did?
Well, you would normally think so. It's an amazing amount of dry air out there in the Atlantic. As a matter of fact, it's impacting Erin right now, as I was talking about. So, we're going by the models. It looks like it struggles coming across the tropical belt there and then doesn't really get going until it gets closer to the islands, as you can see by the National Hurricane Center, right, has a kind of line saying it's not going to develop here and then maybe 60% downstream. So, I think the issue is that we still are in the middle of August. Usually it takes until the middle of August at least before the dust and dry air let up. We'll see if it continues longer this year. Like, remember last year, of course, we had a whole big gap at the end of August into September. So we'll see. But right now, I think that's what's impeding it more than anything else is the dry air. Yeah,
the head scratcher. And we saw Erin kind of unsubscribed from that, had good bones even in the presence of that dry air. So we'll see how this all goes. We got a lot to watch clearly in the short term with a major hurricane making a close approach, and then another one, and it's a distant wake, not a major hurricane, but a disturbance to watch. So that's Fox Weather's Bryan Norcross. You'll be hearing a lot from him in the days ahead. It's busy, clearly, in the Atlantic Basin. Bryan, thank you.